Hi, I'm Blake.
And I'm Roxanne, and this is CHOW Tour Austin.
When we were told that we shouldn't miss the wine country outside of Austin, our first thought was, there's a wine country in Texas?
So we called up Wes Marshall, author of the book The Wine Roads of Texas.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize, but Texas was actually the very first state in the United States to produce wine. That was back from the early days when the Spanish missionaries were wandering through the United States. And so they built the first winery out around El Paso. Since the late 90s until now, we've gone from a position of having about 20 wineries to about 220 wineries. Texas Hill Country is very limestone driven. A lot of people think of Texas as just being a very, very hot area for growing grapes, but it's really not quite as hot as you think. As a matter of fact, there's parts of the grape growing area that are cooler than Napa.
We asked him who was making some of the most interesting wine. He told us we should meet a guy named Dickson.
He is really going to do whatever it takes to make sure that he shows Texas can be a great wine growing area. His rosé, for instance, is just, I think, one of the great rosés made in the United States.
I don't want a perfect wine. I don't want a wine to look like a celebrity game show host, analogously speaking. Perfect teeth, perfect, you know. That person doesn't have real personality. I want real wine.
When we met up with Lewis, he was working with friend and collaborator Tony Coturri, a well-known natural winemaker from Sonoma.
We're involved, which really loosely, for a lot of reasons, called natural wine, which it's undefined and it's kind of very nebulous, but essentially for us it means as least amount of manipulation as possible. Once you start sulfiting and once you start manipulating the wine, that wine could come from anywhere. It could still be good, but it doesn't have the personality of the place.
I'm really trying to make a statement that you can do it, and you can do it here in Texas if you learn what you can do and not try and mimic some other wine region that you're not, or not try and concoct some wine that Robert Parker gave 95 points to. I planted 9 different varietals. When all was said and done, what worked best for me are 2 grapes, the white grape Blanc de Bois, and then the red grape is a grape called Black Spanish. We harvest the grapes by hand. We crush them right here. We let them ferment naturally, and then we press them off into new oak. At least the wines that we make wind up being more European, old world in style.
We tried some of the rosé that they had just bottled. It smelled a little funky, but in a really nice way. I like that earthiness in wine. It was dry, a little fruity, and I bet it would have been great with some barbecue.
We also tried some of his port, straight from the barrel. It had a deep ruby color and tasted fresh and juicy, not cloyingly sweet or syrupy at all.
I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings when I say this, but I'm not just generally waving the banner for Texas wine. What I care about is good wine. And if it comes from Texas, so much the better.
In the next video, we check out cured meats.